It's 25 laps for the final race, event number 19 on the program, the North Island SprintCar title, thanks to Pipeline. The grids as follows. Off grid number 1, the 3NZ of Matthew Levisage. Grid 2, the 4USA of Jonathan Allard. Grid 3, the 2NZ of Michael Pickens. And grid 4, the 98M of Ryan O'Connor. Grid 5 is the 1NZ of Daniel Thomas. 88M of Keaton Dunn off grid number 6. Grid 7 is the 22K of Dean Brindle. Grid 8, the 84M of Dean Cooper. Grid 9, the 71M of Jamie McDonald. Grid 10, the 16A of Ryan Barry. Grid 11, the 6M of James Darm. 82M of Jamie Larson from grid number 12. The 92A of Chris Kernahan from grid 13. 11K of Raymond Griffin from grid 14. 79M of Max Guilford from grid 15. The 73K of Brian Edwards from grid 16. 7A of Dion Kendall from grid 17. 58M of Bailey Betts out of grid number 18. Off grid 19 is the 41M of Cole Wood. And to round the field off grid number 20, the 47A of Zach Sokol. That your field for the Pipeline North Island SprintCar title. 25 laps to final winner.
There's something we've been watching on the big screen there as well. It's just Michael Pickens making that transition from the midget to the sprint car. So often we might have another guy, Travis Buckley, sometimes will race both classes, but Michael, the only guy to do it tonight. And as he has just finished the midget feature, he's got just a few things to do. Get a drink of water, get the visor all cleaned up. If you need to put some tear-offs on the helmet, get some tear-offs on the helmet. But it's really important to take your time. And as you can see, Michael's a veteran at doing that. Knows his gear, knows what he needs to do, knows how long everything takes as well. So just getting everything together. He trusts his team. He's got a great team there with Steve and Hayden Warrington and the whole CRC Z-Build sprint car team, as he mentioned, building that brand new car as well. First time it's been on track tonight, and he's starting right up front for this North Island sprint car title.
Fantastic job he is doing indeed. Of course, there, as you say, Hayden, of course yourself, you've done many feature races and you've done just the one of them, but roughly, like in terms of body fitness and that, what do you need for that as well? Obviously fitness is quite a key for this kind of sport too. Yeah,
I think people underestimate Speedway for a few reasons. One, they think it's just sitting down. It's certainly not just sitting down. But people also underestimate the importance of your cardiovascular fitness. So being able to actually breathe and keep your heart rate low and the real basic things like that. As we mentioned before, these are 900 horsepower sprint cars. The midgets, exceptional cars with about 380 horsepower, but only around 400 kilos. So the power to weight is what makes these things exciting, and if you don't breathe correctly and if you don't take care of yourself during the race and you're not fit, you will run out of breath and then you start making mental errors basically. So there's a little bit you need to work on. Make sure if you've got time, have a look on Instagram to the Race Fit Instagram page. Matthew Levisage is an ambassador for that page, and I spend a lot of time with Tyler Warnock and the Race Fit team as well, making sure I got my fitness well and up there as well while I was in the midget class. So your fitness is critical, and especially when you do as much racing as Michael Pickens does, being able to transition between them and not show fatigue, extremely impressive to his physical state. Oh,
indeed, and as you say, just doing one race alone is huge for some of these guys, but to go out there and do two and have that minimal break time between them is certainly credit to the guys. So they get the 2NZ machine of Michael Pickens pushed away. He, of course, will be starting out of grid number 3 behind the 3NZ of Matthew Levisage. Of course, the 4USA of Jonathan Allard will start on the outside of the front row. And the 98M of Ryan O'Connor from grid number 4.
Jonathan Allard, no stranger to winning big races as well. As we mentioned before, multiple New Zealand championships. I'm very sure he's won multiple New Zealand Grand Prix and North Island championships as well. So one of the more successful sprint car drivers we've had here in New Zealand. And Matthew Levisage has had, as we mentioned, a really unlucky season, doing a lot of damage. So rebuilding and building 4 cars so far this year due to damage and major accidents. So great to see him on the pole for this event. I hope he has a great run here. Daniel Thomas back there in 5th as well, just looking for that car speed they've had earlier in the season. they're in a good position to actually have a good result here tonight.
The Daltons, number 4 USA, and the Toyco 3NZ, your front row for the Pipeline and North Island Sprint Car title. We are going to go 4 wide. So as they come around, folks, put your hands together for them. Cheer for them. They can hear you. They will go around for their lap as they come around down through Penrite corner on to the front straight. On your feet, folks. Put your hands together for them. These guys are about to put it all on the line to find and crown a North Island Sprint Car champion. They work their way down through Midas, turns 1 and 2 onto the back straight.
As Nick Brown mentioned earlier as well, Ryan O'Connor was doing a great job at hustling the high side of this racetrack as well. So keep an eye on the HLR number 98 in the 3rd spot there in the 4 wide, just inside of Jonathan Allard.
Once again, as they come down the main straight, folks, put your hands together for them on your feet. As we'll get ourselves back into 2x2 fold.
As you mentioned earlier, Hans, as well, winning that start is so critical as well, because you've got a long way to go in this race. So being able to get ahead and really control the race can be so important.
I 100% agree, indeed. Of course, composure is going to be the main thing, because there will be yellows in this one as well. With these guys are just going to have to keep their minds settled. They're going to have to keep themselves focused as they, on the restarts, lap traffic. That's also going to have to be a key. Where do they put the car? Where do they try? Do they try to go past lap traffic, up high, down low? Obviously, it depends where that lap traffic is, but all those things. So composure is key. It's a long way to go. It's not a sprint, it's an endurance. As we'll be once more round under yellow.
6 ex-New Zealand championships in this field as well. Ex-New Zealand champions, sorry. So we're not lacking any ability in this field. This is the best of the North Island right in front of us, Hans.
Fantastic indeed, and one competitive field we have. This, of course, also building towards next weekend's New Zealand Sprint Car title. We are lights out. The pace vehicle exits the track. 25 laps to find ourselves a North Island Sprint Car champion as they enter turns 3 and 4, Penrite corner. Looking for a green and for a start for the North Island Sprint Car title. We're green and we're underway. Allard gets a fantastic jump. He gets the Daltons 4 USA machine into the race lead. Oh, the 16 of Ryan Barry further back just has a moment or two, but he manages to keep going. We stay green at this stage here at Western Springs Speedway for the North Island Sprint Car title, and Matt Levisage has got himself up into 2nd spot. Ryan O'Connor there up high trying to have a look out wide. Here comes the 1NZ of Daniel Thomas, and to make our top 5 is the 2NZ of Michael Pickens. Just outside of that 5 at the moment is the 88 of Keaton Darm. That's how they'll sit early on after 2 laps completed. 23 to run here for the Pipeline North Island Sprint Car title.
Jonathan Allard really just controlling the race right now as well. Just running a real smooth lane, but he's not losing Matt Levisage, as Levisage runs the bottom and is just holding on within reach. So one mistake by Jonathan Allard, and Matt Levisage is going to be right there as Daniel Thomas makes an aggressive move into turn number 3 and is going to take 3rd position away from Ryan O'Connor as Ryan Barry retires to the infield. But we've got Michael Pickens right there as well, just challenging for 5th, just sitting there waiting, letting things settle in, and then he's going to start making some moves.
Wheel stands from the 98 car of Ryan O'Connor down in Midas as they continue this run. Very, very soon, though, it's going to be a bit of lap traffic for our race leaders. The 4 of Jonathan Allard and the 3 of Matthew Levisage. As they work down the front straight again, we are 6 laps down in this one. 19 left to run for the Pipeline North Island Sprint Car title.
2 very different lines being run right now between our leaders as well. Matthew Levisage wrestling the car through the bottom of the racetrack, and we've got Jonathan Allard tearing down the top side, as you can see.
As Jonathan Allard got problems.
He just gets super tight on the cushion.
Left-hand corner of that car. He has got sparks coming off that left-hand corner of that car. Has he got a problem with that car? Watch it closely. The 4 USA car of Jonathan Allard.
Major front-end damage down here to Keaton Darm as well, so it's likely we're going to bring the yellow flag out here.
He has got very limited steering on that 88M Valvoline machine. So unfortunate to see Keaton Dahm there.
I believe those sparks are actually just from the rotors, Hans, because I saw Daniel Thomas doing it as well before the race. So I don't think it's anything too much to be worried about. Just such a technical line to try and run the topside the way that he is, especially down there in turn 1 and 2. There's a lot more of an aggressive curb to lean on. So as Peter Murphy mentioned earlier, if you really lean into the cushion, it's okay. But if you smack it with the right rear, you're going to throw the front end of the car across the same way that he did. And that's handed the lead to your current 3NZ of Matt Levicic.
So the 3NZ car, the Toyco machine of Matthew Levicic, leading this one from the 4 USA of Jonathan Allard. Currently sitting in third is the 1NZ of Daniel Thomas, with Michael Pickens making our top 4. And then it's back to Ryan O'Connor.
So Allard's actually going to keep the lead here. So extremely unfortunate timing for Matt Levicic. Just as he made that move for the lead, Keaton Dahm didn't actually finish the lap, and therefore we go back a lap. And so Jonathan Allard's going to inherit the lead here. So he's been gifted a bit of a gift there from the officials and from Keaton Dahm. So let's see what happens here if Allard continues to run the top side, or if Matt Levicic getting by him on the bottom is going to force him to move down.
We've lost the 16 of Ryan Barry and the 88 of Keaton Dahm. And next time round we will be lights out for a restart. So Jonathan Allard on the outside of the front row in the Daltons 4 USA machine. Matthew Levicic in the 3NZ Toyco machine on the inside. On the second row, it's the 1NZ of Daniel Thomas. And the outside of him, the 2NZ of Michael Pickens. Lights are out. Next time through, turns 3 and 4, it'll be a restart.
What an impressive front 2 rows, Hans, as well. 1, 2, and 3
stuff.
And then Jonathan Allard in there as well. No stranger to New Zealand and North Island Championships as well. Allard on the outside of the front row controls the pace. Keep an eye on that CRC starting can. As soon as he gets there, it's an early start.
Very early,
takes the lane away from Matt Levicic. Michael Pickens is going to inherit second on that as well, as Levicic blocks the outside lane. But now Jonathan Allard, who thinks he's racing Matt Levicic, has your current 2NZ of Michael Pickens.
So as they work down the back straight into turns 3 and 4 on the front straight, it is going to be the 4 USA of Jonathan Allard that leads this one. But here comes the 2NZ of Pickens trying to pull a slide job on the 4 USA machine of Allard. Doesn't get it done. Allard keeps fend of his race lead and will continue on in the Daltons 4 USA machine.
Allard's moved down out of turn 4 as well, and he did spin the wheels a lot through the slick there, and that allowed Michael Pickens to actually close that gap. So just keep an eye on him, see what he does here. He does continue to run the bottom as Michael Pickens gets the momentum off the top side. Major issue with the front end of Jonathan Allard as the front wing has flipped backwards. So that's going to interfere majorly with the downforce. Look for Michael Pickens to take advantage of that.
So the 4 USA car of Jonathan Allard with problems on board that machine. He is doing a job to hold it at the moment. The Daltons car trying to fend off the 2NZ CRC Industries car. A little bit further back is the 3NZ Matthew Levicic machine. And then it's back to the 84M of Dean Cooper. Then to make our top 5, the 1NZ of Daniel Thomas.
14 laps to do with no front wing, essentially. It's going to be extremely hard, and Michael Pickens just biding his time inside of there. He's going to be waiting for Jonathan Allard just to get tight so he can make a move up the inside as they stalk there. Matt Levicic starting to catch up as well, as lap traffic's going to come into play soon.
Very, very soon these guys will be on the back markers of this field, and it's going to be the 41 at Coalwood that they're going to have Abay to deal with first. So lap traffic not far away, and in fact it's going to be caught very, very soon as the 4 USA of Jonathan Allard continues to lead this one. Michael Pickens, the 2NZ car, right on his tail. Pickens has a bit of a moment down through turns 3 and 4 Penrite corner, but he keeps it together though, and he still holds on a second spot. There is a little bit of a gap between himself and race leader, the 4 of Jonathan Allard, as here it comes. This is lap traffic now that these guys are going to start to deal with. So this is going to be helpful and also be a hindrance on these race leaders. Allard is down low, and Pickens now, if Allard going down low, has managed to get the race lead.
Really unfortunate for Jonathan Allard just to get pipped there, getting stuck behind Bailey Betts. But he's just struggling with a tight race car with no front end downforce. Michael Pickens, and here it's that race lead as Matt Levisic puts the chop on Bailey Betts and starts to reel in your second place, Jonathan Allard, as he's going to look to put some security on this podium spot. Dean Cooper starting to reel in there as well as he's in fourth. Daniel Thomas falling back to fifth, your current 1NZ, but they are very, very deep in lap traffic right now as Chris Kernahan gets put down a lap by your current leader of Michael Pickens.
We are 6 laps left to run in the Pipeline North Island Sprint Car Championship race, and it's the 2NZ CRC Industries machine of Michael Pickens leading it. For USA of Jonathan Allard in the Dalton's car, sits back further in second spot. Then it's the 3NZ of Matthew Levisic in the Toyco machine. Just outside of your top three at the moment, it's the 84M of Dean Cooper and the 1NZ of Daniel Thomas to make up our top 5.
It seems like everyone's gone to the bottom of the racetrack besides Daniel Thomas down here in turn number 3 and 4 as well. The whole of that front group has moved down. So really deep. Michael Pickens just starting to close in on Zachary Sokol, but they've got 3 or 4 lap cars racing each other right in front of them. Jonathan Allard's not out of this one yet, Hans.
Not at all, not indeed. Don't discount the 4 USA of Jonathan Allard as lap traffic is right on the tail of Pickens now. Pickens having to deal with the 47 of Zach Sokol. Will this play into the hands of Jonathan Allard in the closing laps as we have 2 laps left to run? Down through turns 1 and 2, Midas they go.
He's well within reach as well, well within about 2 or 3 car lengths, and Michael Pickens cannot put any of them away. Allard making a massive mistake, and that is likely going to be the move that just gives Michael Pickens the race lead and the win tonight.
We are looking for a checkered flag very, very shortly here at Western Springs Speedway as Michael Pickens, the 2NZ CRC Industries car, will take the feature win and will take the North Island Sprint Car title thanks to Pipeline. And of course it will be the 4 USA of Jonathan Allard in second. Third will go to the 3NZ of Matthew Levisic. Dean Cooper, the 84M, will come home for fourth from the 1NZ of Daniel Thomas.
And you've got a feel for Jonathan Allard there losing out on that race lead due to a front wing issue. But Michael Pickens, not in for the first time in his career, taking away both the midget and the sprint car feature races tonight. But not only a sprint car feature, the North Island Sprint Car Championship.
So the CRC Industries number 2NZ of Michael Pickens gets the win and becomes your new North Island champion. Put your hands together as he comes around, folks. He'll do the donuts. The Pipeline Wham CRC Industries car gets the job done. Big congratulations as well, of course, to Jonathan Allard, the 4 USA Dalton's car in second, and the Toyco 3NZ of Matthew Levisic in third. As he climbs out of the CRC Industries Z-Built 2NZ car.
Make sure you get loud for him, ladies and gentlemen. He can definitely hear you. Michael Pickens, your North Island champion.
So, of course, getting the job done here at Western Springs Speedway. A very proud man he will be indeed. There he goes on the replay. The 2NZ machine getting the donuts done. One happy man indeed he will be.
Well, you've certainly got a few fans there, Michael, and thank you for the donuts. Yeah, that was a tough old race, a bit of a patience thing again, but pressure, pressure, pressure.
Yeah, I like those pressure cooker sort of races and the double file restarts. Obviously, I mean, that sort of fell into our hands there. You know, it's a shame Allard lost his front wing because he didn't have a fair shot at it, but win's a win, we'll take it. Huge thanks to Warwick McKenzie. He owns this car and lets us pretty much do what we want to do, and we've got awesome to reward him with a win with this brand new car. And of course CRC Z-Build, all my guys, I've got some buddies over from California that have helped out this week too, so just happy everyone to get a win after this mental week.
Yeah, I saw the guys working on your engine, I think it was. Were they just sort of making some adjustments there?
Yeah, we just had to fatten up the barrel valve a little bit. It's just a fueling thing because we haven't run this motor for a long time. So, yeah, it's not really a major, but appreciate all their help, like I say, and hope we can come back next week and change the 2 to 1.
Well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I'm going to say it again, Mr. 110% C10, Michael Pickens.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for coming out to us. Awesome to see you guys back at Western Springs.